Hi there, my name is Megan Freed, and I am joined by two of my favorite lawyers in Connecticut, Claudia and Kathleen from Disability Planning Partners. Can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little about you before we dive into our main topic of today, which is the two main things that you can do to prepare in case you get sick? We are so glad to have you here. Kathleen, you are up.
Oh, why, thank you. We're so happy to be here. Claudia and I are the co-founding members of Disability Planning Partners. We are in Hartford, and our practice focuses on estate planning as the foundational piece of everything that we do, and working with clients, whether they have disabilities or not, to plan for the future.
Thank you. Claudia.
Yes. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having us. We love collaborating in our partnership with you. So thanks for having us. I ditto what Kathleen said. We're just here to try to get some messages out to our community in this unprecedented time and make sure that anyone who's watching or listening can share some of the information we're going to talk about today, and should feel free to call us with any questions at all. We really want to be able to support our communities.
Thank you both. So the first thing I want to talk about, because it's something that we hear so much, even in the context of Freed Marcroft's divorce and family law practice. So as you two know well, we work together a lot with Claudia and Kathleen because where we leave off, the estate planning picks up, and then there's a period of overlap there. So we work together closely. And one of the things I know that people wonder is really relevant for today, because this word estate planning implies that someone has died, right? We don't have an estate feels like something that happens after death. But some of our focus today is going to be on documents that help you prepare in case you're ill, right? Very much alive, but unable to make decisions for yourself. So I just like to start with the definition of estate planning so that everyone knows that this isn't a discussion about only what happens if the worst case scenario happens. It's also to prepare for an illness.
Exactly, Megan. Thank you. So one of the two biggest documents that can save anyone during life are a power of attorney and an advance directive. And the overriding premise of both documents is that a trusted individual is named to act on your behalf with respect to financial decisions, if it's a power of attorney, and medical decisions, if it's an advanced directive. So when we talk about these documents, I like to use an analogy akin to the 5 W's.
Right.
So the first question that we tackle is, who needs this? Really, everyone needs this. Everyone needs these two documents because
whether there's COVID or not.
Whether there's COVID or not. And the reason that it's so relevant right now is because I'm gonna go on a limb and say most of us were not expecting this, right? So the catastrophic effects that this virus has had in our private and personal lives and our business lives may come across a very unexpected injury or event. And these documents protect you in your lifetime by appointing an agent to act for you. So as an example, right now we have college kids that are home. Mm-hmm. Anyone over 18 years old should appoint an agent, usually a mom or a dad, but it's a really good time for that demographic of kids that are home to look at this type of planning. It's also really important for business owners to have someone that could transact business, carry on business in the event of illness. So Kathleen and I are partners. We have documents for each other related to our business so that either one of us would be able to act for the other one if one of us became ill.
Right.
So right now, the when is my favorite part, the when and the where, because we can do it right now and we can do it remotely. So our firm moved to a remote platform pretty early on. And because of the clients that we see most often have some vulnerabilities, and we wanted to be overly protective.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working out of my home office, as is Kathleen. So schedule a time to talk to us at 7 a.m. over that coffee cup. We have far more flexibility because we are remote. So let me tell you a little bit about each document in a little bit more detail. A power of attorney appoints an agent, typically a spouse, a best friend, a sibling, someone who knows you very well, knows what decisions you might make, and that you trust. Once you appoint this person in a power of attorney document, that person could do any financial transactions that you would have done yourself. They have to ensure that it's your interest that is being protected, but they can do anything that you would do, which would include creating trust or maybe adding beneficiaries to accounts. A lot of things can happen in life that prepare you for passing property or simply managing day-to-day business. So that's really important. The other document, it has a lot of different names, either an advanced directive or a healthcare agent appointment. But the things that become important there are making sure that also an agent is appointed to make medical decisions for you. Here's the catch. The agent has to know what your wishes would be under different circumstances.
For the healthcare one.
You know, there's very limited situations in Connecticut where a do-not-resuscitate or a do-not-intubate order would be done. And fitting into those two segments is really if you have no brain function or you have been diagnosed with a terminal disease. So what happens with everything in between? It's hard to have the conversations, but you have to. We encourage everybody to have these conversations. Once that agent is appointed, you don't need to worry whether something's going to happen to me and no one's going to know what I want,
Right.
Because you would have already planned. The piece that goes hand in hand with that is authorizing someone to receive your protected medical information. So most of us know this is a HIPAA release.
Yeah.
What's important is that when we go to our doctors, at least mine, I sign the little form who can receive information on my behalf about my medical conditions. But if you're sick or ill suddenly and you were traveling or you're in a different medical system than maybe your primary provider, those physicians are going to need a separate document that they can refer to be able to disclose information about your health. So this is a blanket document that would apply anywhere.
Wherever. Right. Just because of Freed Marcroft's divorce and family law practice, let's talk a little bit about when we're talking about naming the right power of attorney or the right healthcare agent. We talked about the business context and in that case, partners like the two of you would name each other. I think something that's confusing for people is whether or